GOP Congressman Chip Roy joins us now. So, Congressman, he's saying, I want to see everything. Let the public see everything. Is that a good move?
Good morning, Brian. I mean, listen to the Attorney General, the handpicked nominee of the current president who ran against the former president, say that he personally approved all this is obviously a little troubling. But to hear him yesterday say, oh, we're for the even-handed application of the law, give me a break. He says, in essence, trust us. Trust the DOJ that is going after parents for simply showing up at school board meetings. Trust the federal government that has the DHS leaving our borders wide open while they go after the Border Patrol agents who secure our border. Trust them when the CDC yesterday came out and said, oh, don't worry, all that stuff about quarantines and vaccines, oh, just forget all that, even though your kids have been shoved into the corner wearing masks and now they have mental health issues. Trust the federal government that's throwing money at Ukraine and doesn't even know where it's going. Give me a break. To ask us to trust this Department of Justice is an enormous leap of faith for the American people. And they should understand that the American people are sick and tired of empowering bureaucrats. And that's why I think the Republican Party needs to make a strong commitment to the American people that we will defund the tyranny, defund the bureaucrats that are attacking the American people on a daily basis.
The FBI, do they have a choice? If you're told to go in by the Department of Justice and go into any compound, do they have to do it? Do you fault the agents that went in?
I'm never going to fault the line, men and women who are serving our law enforcement community, whether they're, police on our streets in Texas or whether they're FBI agents. Look, Brian, I was a former federal prosecutor. I worked with the FBI. I worked with the ATF. The lion's share of these folks are great patriots. I fault the politicians. I fault the head of the Department of Justice. I fault the head of the Department of Homeland Security, and I fault the President of the United States for politicizing these law enforcement agencies. I do not fault the line people who are doing their job and following orders. That's true in the Department of Defense as well. I fault the people who are messing it up from the top.
All right, so let's talk about what's going to be happening today. You're in the minority in the House by about 4 or 5 votes, and it looks like the House will pass this $700 billion, they say, deficit reduction bill, but it doesn't reduce the deficit. What it does, it's the Manchin-Schumer-Green bill. What could you do to stop this?
Yeah, well, first of all, this bill is terrible. Obviously, hiring 87,000 IRS agents to target Americans. It's just not going to target just the rich. It's actually going to have a disproportionate impact on the poor and middle-income families. And then you've got this Green New Deal garbage, which is chasing unicorn fantasy energy policies and trying to power our country with wind and solar on cloudy, windless days. It's absolutely absurd, and you're empowering China in the process. What Republicans ought to do, I would personally say that we should deny them a physical quorum today. I wouldn't even play their game today, flying in here and having 175 people voting by proxy. But if this thing passes today, which I assume it will, because there's not a single Democrat who gives a whit about the American people and doing the right thing, I would say we should defund all of these entities and we should commit to repealing this bill on day one if the American people give us the power and give us the control in the House. We should fight this with everything we have. No more speeches, no more here's what we're going to do, no more hearings. Come in on day one and say we're going to shut this government down. Shut it down until they stop going after the American people, stop screwing them with high energy bills, stop screwing them with high gas prices, stop sending the FBI after them, stop going after parents when they want to just fix their schools, and the Republicans should show up to the party and actually fight.
Congressman, I hear you. And not only will the Democrats welcome that fight, they think they're going to win it because they think the American people are going to like the bill that much. They want to come back and get the other $2 trillion that Joe Manchin left on the table. So we'll see what happens in November. It's going to be a pretty clear-cut decision. Chip Roy, thank you.